Today I'm reviewing the LG SoundSuite H7 soundbar system. If you want to check current pricing or availability, it's linked below. I've used this soundbar setup for movies, TV shows, gaming, and music over multiple evenings in a living room environment. These impressions are based on everyday use rather than spec sheets. Let's set expectations early. This is not a simple TV speaker bar meant just to add a bit more volume. If you're only interested in marginal improvement over built-in TV sound, this overstated feature set isn't the goal. What this system aims for is more enveloping spatial audio with real surround channels and height awareness. In real use, the 9.1.6 layout produces a surround field that feels noticeably wider and taller than typical front-firing bars. Atmos content in movies and streaming apps often gives you overhead cues, rain, ambient ambience, and effects that feel layered above you rather than just across the front. It won't replace dedicated ceiling speakers or a custom home theater, but compared to 3D virtual systems it feels more grounded. Dialogue clarity matters in daily viewing, and here the mid-range stays focused. Speech remains intelligible without constantly chasing the remote for volume adjustments when music or effects kick in. That steadiness makes a difference when watching varied content like dramas, news, or animation. The wireless subwoofer pairing delivers bass that's present and controlled. Low-end impact comes through in explosions and music without overwhelming the rest of the mix. It isn't subwoofer earthquake level, but it feels balanced for mid-sized living room use. If you have a very large room or want deep, chest-shaking lows, additional low-frequency support might still be needed. Setup was straightforward. HDMI ARC handled full bandwidth audio reliably between my TV and the bar. In my space, the automatic calibration helped tailor the sound a bit without needing manual EQ fiddling, which made placement simpler than many separate systems. Wireless connection between the main bar, surrounds, and sub stuck reliably during my sessions without dropouts or sync issues. Stability matters more than peak performance once you start watching content regularly. Now limitations. Height effects depend on the source and room acoustics. Very high ceilings change how overhead cues present, and not all streaming content supports full 9.1.6 output. In practice, you'll notice the difference most on well-mixed Dolby Atmos movies. Everyday TV apps sometimes default to simpler tracks that don't exercise the top channels. Compared to a traditional AVR with separate amps and speakers, you trade some absolute output flexibility and fine-grained tuning for cleaner setup and integration. That's a design choice, convenience and soundstage over complex calibration. So who does this make sense for? People who want immersive spatial sound without running wires across the room. Home viewers who mix movies, series, and gaming with clearer dialogue and richer surround than standard bars. Users who appreciate expandable systems, for example adding subs or compatible room correction later. It's less compelling if you need reference-level bass or if your room is so large that height channels don't interact well with ceilings. Here's the bottom line. For a spatially capable soundbar system that balances real surround presence with practical everyday use, the LG SoundSuite H7 delivers measured, useful performance without overt hype. Check current pricing below and evaluate it against your needs.